Welcome to Connect to Florida. Today we're going to be talking about Naples, Florida, and the real estate inventory that we're experiencing right now. So we just recently, in the last 24 hours, as of the filming of this video, we got some stats in that I was waiting to take a look at, and in recalculating where we're at in terms of how many months of inventory we have right now, it is sitting at a little tiny bit over 7 months worth of inventory. So what does that mean? Well, basically that means with the amount of inventory that we have on the market right now in Naples, Florida, that average days on market could theoretically, it could take 7 months to sell through all that inventory. So that explains a lot. Let's talk about it. All right, so before we get into the nitty-gritty of this, let me talk to you about some details that I wrote down. So in December of 2023, there were 1,144 homes on the market. December of 2024, there was 6,294 homes on the market.
What?
Little bit of a difference there. Little bit of a difference. So right now, as of the filming of this video, before I started this, I went in and I typed this into the MLS system. So this is not accounting for something that would be off MLS. And that's really important. I cannot stress this enough to you. That is not taking into consideration the builder products, because sometimes builders will not put their availability in the MLS, and sometimes it's a very significant portion of the market. So that is not necessarily accounted for, and neither is a for sale by owner. Now, for sale by owner is not really a huge portion of what we're looking at here, but it does play a part. So we should be aware of that. So outside of that, MLS only, as of 5 minutes ago, I broke it up. Single family residences, so homes, not condos, anything like that. Single family residences, 3,061 in Naples today. Condos in Naples today, 3,475 condos. So that is about 8% more than where we were this time, this month, last year. Just to give you some, some data to be thinking about. Overall as well, prices are down in Naples. Now, some people see this differently, and I've calculated this 100 different ways. And to some degree, I will say, depending on if you're breaking it up, and there's ways, garbage in, garbage out, and we can say the same for the opposite of that. But no matter how I'm calculating this, Naples as a whole, if I take it across the board, and I'm including single family residences, condos, villas, manufactured homes, everything, I show down right at 18%. Now, I know that there is somebody out there right now jumping on their fake account, and they're letting me know that their neighborhood houses are selling like hotcakes, and the one next door sold in the first 18 seconds. I believe you. I truly do believe you. So here's the unique thing that I want to talk to you about with Naples. It is very, very micro, I guess maybe would be a way that I would put it. It comes down to neighborhoods, and sometimes, like I'll give the example of Naples Park, it comes down to streets, not just the entire neighborhood. Because with Naples Park, for example, proximity to the Gulf of Mexico, or the Gulf of America, as some may say. So if you're in the section that's very, very easily walkable to the beach, then your value is going to be higher, and not just that, your home's going to sell faster than one that might be 2 streets over. So it really gets down to a level of neighborhood to neighborhood. So a lot of times I'll do consultations with folks here on this channel, and they will want to know what communities are selling best, which ones have inventory sitting, why the inventory is sitting. So Generally speaking, I can give you a pretty good answer on that. I can look at data, I know the area, and I can tell you why this community is not selling as well as maybe this community over here. But it does come down to that sometimes in Naples. So if you are talking about, let's say, a 2-bedroom or 2 and a den, 2-bath condo that has a view of like a little pond, a little lake, not a huge body of water, because the bigger, I say this all the time, the bigger the body of water, the bigger the price. So if we're just talking about average Joe condo, those are sitting like bricks. Those are a dime a dozen. Why? Well, you can distinguish, maybe your furniture is nicer than the one that is unit B down the road. So you may ask why? Why is that the case? Well, with a condo, you're essentially talking about the same footprint over and over and over and over. Maybe the view gets a little bit different, but for the most part, there's not a whole lot you can do in a condo to make it significantly better than everyone else's. Now, if you're talking about a really old condo, let's say in downtown Naples, and you went through the process of raising the ceiling, maybe there was a little space up there, you could get your ceiling up higher, you eliminated popcorn ceiling, you took a wall out, and again, all these things, maybe you added laundry, all these things have to be approved through the condo association. Some of these things you cannot do at all without permission. But let's say you were able to do some things that were significant that maybe the next door neighbor didn't do. Are you going to get more? Maybe, probably. It really depends though, because if you did something that you think is going to get you $50,000 more in your unit, people are going to know what the sales look like throughout the condominium complex. So to some degree, when you buy a condo, you are putting yourself in the position where you have bought a hard ceiling. You know what I mean? So there's that to consider, that prices will kind of lock themselves in, and as they start to kind of ching down, everybody is going down with them. There's not a lot you can do about it. That is what happens. So one question that I've gotten often is, why is this happening? Why is there so much inventory in Naples right now? And I'm going to tell you the truth. This is why. This is why. First of all, know that real estate is cyclical, 100%. So the cycles tend to repeat themselves over and over. So if we look at that, this is not super shocking. But what did get thrown into the mix that has not been in the mix the way that it is now, the political environment absolutely, positively created the perfect storm. Add in COVID, what happened with COVID, and then add in the insurance crisis. So when you add these new sort of, if we all knew how to make vegetable soup and then somebody showed up with, some cumin and whatever else they decided to toss in there, and then things got really crazy, that's what we have going on right now. It's like as soon as we think something is settling out, as soon as we have a month where we feel like, okay, it's stabilizing, it doesn't. And one thing I want you to really know, and I want you to really look at, is when you see an agent put something out, on their social media, whatever, and it says Naples, Florida plus 4.3%, or I'm making it up right now. That might be the month over. So the other thing is 100% increase. Look at this. This is 100% increase in Bonita National or wherever it is. Keep in mind that if one condo sold in that community last month and 2 sell this month, we're going to call that 100% increase. It's still bad. It's still bad. It's not good. And that's why I like to look at the numbers like a year ago or maybe even a quarter ago. But even with the quarter, you do have to consider, are we in season? Are we off season? Are we talking about hurricane season? There's things that you really do have to look at closely in Florida. It's not as easy as the rest of the country. But be very, very aware when somebody is giving you data that the overarching umbrella equals bad, then even if it's a 50% increase, 100% increase, if it's still way underperforming, that's something that you need to know. So be really careful with that, because people will play with data and it can throw off an offer that you might make. So I want to end this video with a little bit of advice, because I do consultations literally all day long. It's what the bulk of my day is spent doing. So one of the biggest questions that I am getting is, but I want to buy. I'm bumping against age. I retired. I'm sitting on a nest egg. I'm ready to do this. When do I pull the trigger? I have some propensity for not getting the absolute best deal out there, but I don't want to take a beating. I don't want to buy something upside down. And I totally get that. And I'm cognizant of that when I give people advice. So what I would say to you is sit tight for now, unless you are somebody that has some really, really strict guidelines in terms of what you're looking for. So you are not the 2-2 condo buyer. You are not the 3-bedroom, 2-bath pool home buyer. Those are a dime a dozen. We can find them multiple times over. If you lose one you thought you loved, we'll find you another one. If you are, I want a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3-car garage with direct access to the Gulf with no bridges, and I don't want to live in Cape Coral. I want to be south of Cape Coral. If that's you, then you've kind of filtered everything through a cocktail straw, and whatever little drop comes out, we have to look at very, very seriously. So if you have some things that you want that are very, very, very specific, listen, I'm just going to be honest, you might have to pay a little more than what you anticipated. So if we find that and you love everything about it, and I'm saying to you, this isn't going to come up twice. If you want it, this is the price. We'll do the best we can with it. But there's not many of these. That's a different scenario than somebody who is buying something that can be found over and over and over and over. So what I would say to you, if you are in the first category, you're the 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo, you're the 3-bedroom, 2-bath pool home, something along those lines. If you're that person, then I'm going to say to you, watch the market right now, get in touch with a good agent, get some communication going with an agent that can help you understand the area, and sit tight. Learn the area, get your financing in order so you're ready to go, because I believe that by the time May, June hits, you're going to see some bargains. You are going to see some bargains.